Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. I'm here with Dr. Group, a longtime associate of Infowars, and he's going to be talking to us about the growing fungal epidemic here. And we're going to be talking about a product that he helped Infowars create, the Myco ZX. Now, this was designed by you. And can you tell us more about this and more about this fungal epidemic?
Yeah, Millie, thanks for asking me about that. It really is a problem that most people are not familiar with. As a matter of fact, most doctors and hospitals really do not take the time and effort to check people for fungal infections. And over the last 15 years and working with some of the hardest cases, I've come to the conclusion that many people are suffering from chronic fungus infections. Now, the definition of a fungus is actually a mold, a fungus, or a yeast. Most people just think that a mold is separate from a fungus or yeast is separate from a fungus. But because of the standard American diet, because people are consuming so much sugar, they're exposed to these organisms, and what happens is they get overgrowth of these organisms in the body. As a matter of fact, I have some research here that I wanted to share with everybody. According to Jacob Teitelbaum, who's an MD at the Fibromyalgia and Fatigue Centers in Dallas, Texas, yeast overgrowth is linked to an average weight gain of 32.5 pounds. What's more, at least 15 million American women suffer from candidiasis, a fungal overgrowth in the intestines. When you combine all of the chemicals and all the toxins in the food supply and in the toxic beverages that people eat, and even children these days are coming down with fungal infections, and we're seeing different fungus organisms that are being sprayed in the air, that are being found in the water, that are being found on cell phones now. So what I've been trying to let people know is there really is this epidemic. And the sad thing about it is when you're dealing with these fungal problems, a lot of times you never even know. So you might be suffering from fatigue. You might have brain fog. You might have skin conditions, itching, difficulty with your vision, weight gain. I've identified probably close to 100 different symptoms that people can be suffering from that are all attributed to some form of yeast, fungus, or mold. And it's really sad because you go to the doctor, and I hear the story over and over again. I've been to the doctor for 5 years. I've been to multiple doctors. Nobody can tell me what's wrong with me. They think that I have allergies. As a matter of fact, there was a recent study that just came out that shows chronic sinusitis. How many people do you know right now that are having problems with chronic sinus problems, runny noses, congestion? Now they're linking that to a fungus. So more and more we're able to determine that people are suffering from more and more fungus, yeast, and mold. And that's the reason why we've spent years developing a formula to attack that, which is the new formula, Myco ZX, specifically designed as a yeast and fungus cleansing product.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I'm sure a lot of people are wondering right now, do I have this candida overgrowth or this fungal overgrowth? And so you did go over some of the symptoms, which is pretty good. I mean, but could you touch more into that and more into what are the long-term ill effects of having a prolonged case of a candida or fungal overgrowth in your body?
Well, the thing is, it's slow death, really, because fungus and microorganisms are not technically designed to kill you right away. They're designed to incapacitate you, and it can take 3 to 6 months before you even start developing symptoms. So it's really one of those hidden organisms that has a detrimental effect on your health over a period of time. And those are all the precursors to heart disease, precursors to cancer, precursors to diabetes. So ultimately, you're at risk from these harmful organisms. And I've been saying for a long time, you know, there's even traced back to biological bioweapon production in the early 1900s. So when you combine multitudes of all these factors, the mold and the yeast and the fungus in the body, these are debilitating organisms that are going to slowly affect you over a period of time, that are precursors to digestive health problems, hormone imbalance problems, heart disease problems, liver problems. All of these organisms as well secrete toxins. For example, Candida can secrete up to 80 different harmful toxins because these organisms have to go to the bathroom as well. It's just like the harmful organisms, if you talk about the different types of worms and parasites and everything else in the body that take your nutrients in and then push out, they go to the bathroom and push out all these harmful chemical toxins, usually acidic toxins that can burn holes in the gut tissue, as well as circulate in the bloodstream and cause toxemia within the system. And that's why I recommend everybody goes through at least a yeast and fungus cleanse about every 3 months.
Wow. So can those toxins lead to things like anxiety or panic attacks or things like that for people, since it's, the toxins are affecting their whole body system?
So most of the yeast and the mold organisms that are out there have been linked to anxiety. And there's a gut-brain connection anyway. So anytime you have problems with your gut, you're most likely going to have problems with those mental illnesses, which they label them. I personally say there is no such thing as mental illnesses because you can track it all back to a chemical toxicity through artificial sweeteners that you're consuming, artificial sugars, MSG, genetically modified foods, pesticide and herbicide residue. The list goes on and on and on. Toxic water, toxic beverages, toxic food, and even toxic air. So all of those have been linked to different types of mental conditions. But having overgrowths of fungus, having overgrowth of mold inside your body. Now they're even finding black mold in dishwashers, in laundry machines, because they're finding that this black mold, which and in your bathrooms, the same stuff you find in your shower, can actually have detrimental effects on your health over time too, especially living in the southern United States or where the humidity levels are really high.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, I've heard about black mold causing people cancer and all kinds of problems. And so it does make sense that a candida overgrowth in your body, a fungal overgrowth in your body, could be very detrimental. And I know that you talked a little bit on sugars being something that this candida fungus feeds off of. So I'm just curious, can you go more into how MycoZX is going to be able to help people in this modern day where we literally have sugar so much in our food supply, in our diets, that we can't avoid it? We're feeding this fungus in our body.
Yes, well, MycoZX was specifically developed and what I did was search the whole globe to find what herbs and what compounds in herbs are going to be the most efficient at addressing what the organisms are and actually become toxic to those organisms. For example, the MycoZX contains 2 enzymes. One of them is beta-glucanase and the other one is hemicellulase. Now, these enzymes are specifically designed to help break down the exterior coating of the organisms, because a lot of times when you're dealing with harmful organisms, whether it's mold or yeast or candida or any type of fungus, they're going to have a cell wall, and that cell wall protects them from things that actually hurt them. So we added those 2 enzymes to help break down and chew up that extracellular wall of the fungus. So then the ingredients in the herbs can actually penetrate in and help the body adjust and adapt to the killing of those organisms. Now, we use things like jatoba, and we use licorice, and we use specific herbs that have concentrations of certain chemicals in there, all natural, by the way, that are specifically designed to attack those type of organisms in the body. And you mentioned earlier about the sugar consumption. We have a huge sugar epidemic as well with the high fructose corn syrup, and we have all the carbohydrates. So we basically have everybody living right now with a high percentage of their diets consuming refined carbohydrates or cooked carbohydrates like rice and a lot of potato and a lot of corn-based products. And all of those convert into glucose in the body. And that sugar, it just wreaks havoc on the system and feeds the overgrowth of these organisms. And then you put in the alcohol consumption, all of the beer, which contains gluten, which damages the digestive tract. And then you have all the wine and all the alcohol, which converts into sugars in the body. So if you drink alcohol, if you eat anything with sugar, if you have a poor diet, if your immune system is weak, if you're under a lot of stress, anxiety, if you have mental fatigue, if you have brain fog, women especially around the world are suffering from vaginal yeast infections. It just is a sign that your body is giving you and your body is telling you it's time to do something about it. The body always gives you symptoms. It's just most people don't pay attention to those symptoms. And what our job is, and why I love working with Infowars, is because everybody understands that what we're doing here is we're addressing the root cause of the problem. That's what most people out there in the allopathic and the medicinal and the hospitals and all the medical doctors, they just address the symptoms of the problem and not attacking the root cause. And medications, antifungal medications are extremely damaging to the body and extremely damaging to the liver. And we don't want to damage your body more. What we want to do is help your body adjust and reactivate your body's self-healing mechanism. Your body has the ability to heal anything. Your body, if your immune system is functioning at 100% or even 80%, has the ability to fight off these organisms, these harmful organisms. But the situation that we're dealing with today because of the toxic air, the toxic water, and the toxic food is that our self-healing mechanism is suppressed. Our immune system is down. Our livers are congested. Our bowel and our gut health is very, very poor because we're not taking probiotics. We're not eating live food. We're not supporting our gut. We're not supporting our liver. And when we don't support our gut and our gut is unhealthy and our liver is unhealthy, then our immune system is unhealthy and our self-healing mechanism is suppressed. So we're trying to develop products, and most of them are based on cleansing and detoxification and supporting your gut health and supporting your liver health. And with the Survival Shield X2, getting that extra iodine in your body. And now something that's been asked for and something that's been in development for years and years and tested for years is this formula, the Myco ZX. And that's specifically designed for the yeast and fungus cleansing in the body, because it really is truly becoming something that's being on the map and something that mainstream news are reporting on these days and something that people need a natural answer to.
That's right. And, I heard somewhere and have read up that, all these people out there are suggesting cut down on your sugar if you want to get candida overgrowth gone out of your body. And it's very hard with the amount of sugars in our food supply, not to mention the fact that, isn't it true that candida actually can cause people to have sugar cravings to where it becomes like a destructive cycle to where the candida is actually making you crave the sugar, and then you're eating the sugar and you're feeding the candida. It gets worse and worse. And, when you were talking about how alcohol consumption can actually, increase candida problems, I wonder if that could be attributed to seeing beer bellies in some people, and why some people are like, man, I can't get rid of this beer belly. And, but the most amazing thing about this Myco ZX is that it's going to actually help you to get rid of this candida, which can help slow down that cycle of craving the sugar and then feeding the candida, eating the sugar, craving it, so it can help disrupt that cycle.
Yeah, it's amazing what people are reporting after taking this for a while, and it just all comes back down to increasing your self-healing mechanism, taking good nutritional supplements that are proven over time. Studies have been done on the individual herbs for close to 100 years, putting and designing a formula that's going to be the most effective and non-damaging in the system. I'm really excited about this product. it's something I think that everybody should take a look at, and men as well. I mean, we talk about women a lot just having yeast infections, but men also usually have problems with yeast, and you can see it in their hands, and you can see their skin peeling a little bit. And every guy I talk to that's over 40, usually in some sort of business, and I ask him, how do you feel in the afternoon? I mean, they're all suffering from something. They're suffering from fatigue, lethargy, and they all go out and have drinks every night and wine and have poor diets. Here's the thing. There's always a solution to every situation. And here at Infowars, our job is to do the research, to find out what is attacking people, what people are suffering from, and let's give them a solution. But not only just a solution, an organic, gluten-free, vegan, top of the line. I personally go and track down all these herbs. We test them all for potency. We test them to make sure they're not contaminated with anything. You're getting the best of the best, stuff that I would put in my system and stuff that I do take. So Myco ZX is the future of yeast and fungus cleansing, and it's now available at InfoWarsStore.com. InfoWarsLifeStore.com.
That's right. And I am absolutely so excited to try out this new product. I cannot wait. I myself am going to get some Myco ZX. It's on sale right now, $39.95. It's going to be released today. Here it is, folks. It's here in stores today. So get it before it sells out. I myself, I cannot wait. I'm so enthralled. Thank you so much, Dr. Group, for making these amazing products. I already take the probiotics, and I've gotten some amazing results. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying out the Myco ZX. So make sure you guys check out the Infowars store. I'm Millie Weaver, reporting for Infowars.com.
This is one of the biggest secrets out there. The missing link of why our ancestors, whether you were in Africa or ancient Albion, which is England today, why our ancestors were so much stronger. I mean, there are huge archaeological reports, all sorts of anthropology studies, you can look them up for yourself, that show that humans, just an average farmer of 10,000 years ago in England, was stronger than Olympic athletes today. In the final equation, everyone knows our modern society has lost its vitality. The sperm counts are down like 90%. People are falling apart. They're totally depressed. They're unhappy. What is going on? Every ancient culture was obsessed with what I'm about to reveal to you. Today we call it bone broth, and for thousands of years our ancestors enjoyed its benefits before it became lost to our modern diets of processed junk. That's why I'm so excited to announce the product that is undoubtedly the jewel in the crown of Infowars Life products. Caveman. We lost our vitality because we just ignored the ancient traditions. Everyone knew that you used all the parts of the animal. You used the skin to cover yourself or for shelter. You used the meat for sustenance, the fat for cooking, but you used the bones for strength. We are now introducing Caveman by InfoWarsLife.com, the ultimate in true paleo nutrition with bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and 7 total primal superfoods in a single great tasting formula. The bone is so amazing. From the outside structure full of minerals and key cofactors to the marrow that produces the blood for the body. This is the engine of the life essence. I've made a lot of important points here, but this is the one you need to research for yourself because it's so key. High-quality bone broth helps support healthy muscles and connective tissue, while the active compounds in turmeric do battle on the cellular level and help fight free radicals. And collagen is essential to aid healthy tendons, ligaments, and muscle tissue. This is an absolute win-win. You get an amazing product produced right here in America. You support Infowars and all we're doing to promote freedom and the restoration of our republic and promotion of freedom worldwide. The journey towards better health and giving our bodies these amazing compounds that God created starts at InfoWarsLife.com. 3 years in the making, incredible research, and the very best ingredients. I'm Alex Jones, and I may not be a caveman, but compared to these trendies out there in the street, I'm as close as it gets. Join me at InfoWarsLife.com and get your caveman formula today.